Welcome everyone to the show for hour 2 of MogTalk. It's actually going to be 30 minutes, more likely, along those lines, of MogTalk episode 30, 1 year celebration. For this hour, I have Sly filling in for the most absent Ethys here. And then I have Pookajutsu, who is like, camera completely messed up, and I'll have to fix that here in a second. Who's an amazing streamer, knows lots about lore. Both of you guys are very decent with lore. You're not to the point of like writing books and stuff, but
okay, wait. Well, I've already heard, so go ahead and get out your system, Pook. Yeah, he's alive. He's alive. I know.
Thancred. Yeah, he's alive.
Yeah,
no, that was a good guess. I didn't see, like back then, I didn't see anything that would suggest that he would survive that. Like she brought down the roof on them.
Pretty much.
Oh.
But then again, that's just Sly being like one of Sly's many predictions that goes wrong all the time. all the time.
I honestly don't remember you saying that. I really didn't remember you saying that.
I didn't either until somebody brought it up earlier in my chat. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, but I was going through the videos and, I'm trying to just dig through highlights and I check like, all right, so Sly's on, this is the first time. I want to make sure I get something that Sly says. And then that's one of the first things I found was, Thancred's dead. This is a highlight.
Great.
It's done.
Awesome.
I'm pretty excited about it. We're going to talk about a few different things. Did you watch the 3.2 trailer right at this?
Yes, I did. You what, mate? Fucking serious,
and
mate?
so, did you pick up some stuff with the main story quest, by the way? Did you pick up any things that just completely stood out?
One of the things that stood out, and we talked about it earlier this week, it might be a small thing, but the confrontation between Amanda Lane and Thancred.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, back in the 3.1 main scenario, like right at the end of the quest, right at the end of everything, Amanda Lane just left with a chip on his shoulder, and that we're going to see the culmination of that. Whatever happens between Thancred and Amanda Lane, that's just interesting to see. In terms of something else, Hydaelyn.
Right.
Hydaelyn's voice, seek.
You think it's Seek?
Seek. I think Hydaelyn usually what have we heard Hydaelyn say? Hear, think, feel, seek. Is this another part of that chain?
Hide and seek.
Hide and seek.
Yeah.
Hide and seek. Are we ever gonna get like any kind of like? She needs to use her words. Like she really needs to use her words because anytime she talks to us, she just says like she just gives us a verb, and it's okay. Right. I'm willing to hear, but what do you want me to hear?
Right. Can you have a coherent thought and like straight like I can understand what you're saying? Yeah. I don't know. She's supposed to be like maybe even a bad guy, right? I mean, she's from what I heard, there's like a possibility of that.
There's the possibility that the Mother Crystal might be tainted by darkness. Maybe,
or that we've become too big. She's interfered too much. That's thrown things out of balance. They could go with the angle of trying to make the Warrior of Darkness sympathetic for some reason. Like we've been goofing off and doing all this other stuff, and he's just been handling primals. Right. I think this is gonna be. Obviously they call it Gears of Change because they like plays on words and play on words, but I really do think this is gonna be like the turning point in whatever story they're trying to tell us now.
Right.
We will definitely see something change. And there's way too many tropes that's been thrown in here with Matoya coming out and being like, yeah, you gotta die.
Right.
Like, you gotta die. Okay, so who's dying? They teased Amric a little bit in 3.1, but that didn't happen.
Right. By the way, Ethys did just message me. He got the time wrong, I think. Do you guys want to try to get him on? Do we want to give him some sort of redemption?
Swap out.
Do you want to stay on, Sly? I can keep you on.
I feel like he needs to explain himself.
I can keep you on, Sly.
Sure, if you want. Well, no. Go ahead. Go ahead and swap out. Go ahead.
Are you sure? Okay.
I'm sure.
All right. Well, Sly, thank you, Sly, for coming in and filling in for a little bit.
A little
Why?
bit, yeah, no problem.
Tell me something bad about Ethys real quick. Tell me something bad about Ethys.
Besides, he's a complete utter dick who
Okay. Yeah.
likes to see us fail.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tell me the size of his penis.
Like it.
Like,
It's not.
do I have to
it's
put my
not
hands
his-
together?
It's not his penis. It's just him as a penis.
Oh, okay. So he is a huge penis.
He is a huge penis.
Okay.
A living penis. Okay.
Okay.
I
All
can
right.
get behind that.
He's a walking phallus. There we go. All right.
Yeah. All right, Sly. I'm gonna be calling you in about 30 minutes. All right.
Oh, see, I know the time. I'll be ready.
Okay. All right, man. I'll see you in a bit, man. Thanks for hanging out for a second.
No problem.
All right, we're gonna switch back to the intro here. I'll hang up on you, Sly. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so I'm about to switch back to the screen, and then I'm going to say some bad things about you. Ethys, thanks for joining us now. I appreciate Sly, the wonderful Sly, who took your place to hold up a little conversation while we had to wait on your pain in the ass. You're a pain in the ass. That's
I
okay.
am. Thank
What-
you,
I mean,
Sly.
how
I
did-
love you.
Did you know that I started the show an hour earlier?
He
No.
did.
Yeah, I started an hour early, and then I was about to go into the next segment, and the guests were like, "What? I'm got 30 minutes. What's going on? I got 45 minutes here." And then you show up like 30 minutes late. 30 minutes
Yeah,
late.
like I say, I was thinking an hour forward, because we're like sometimes GMT plus 10, we're sometimes GMT plus 11, based on.
You guys don't do daylight savings time there in Weird
yeah.
Place? Don't worry, I
Yeah,
don't do it either. That's why I messed up, to be honest with you.
Oh, I fucked it up. That's totally my bad. Sorry, guys.
That's all
Anyway,
right.
where are we up to? I can.
We
pick
talked a
up
little bit
everything.
about blessed children go forth and seek what, and we were trying to make sense of that. And so tell me, Ethys, tell me, why, what are we going out forth to seek? And we only got 30 minutes, just to let you know.
That's fine.
All right.
So the thing that interested me with that is that it sort of echoes what we were being told sort of near the beginning of 2.0, being told to seek the crystals of light.
Mm-hmm.
So is she talking? I mean, she's talking to a plural. She's not talking to us directly. Could it be that since we've got a whole bunch of warriors of darkness showing up, she kind of wants more people to reach the blessing of light? Maybe the whole lot of the scions are going to become like the warriors of light,
To oppose the party of warriors of darkness.
perhaps. Because
That's-
it's almost exactly the same thing that she was telling us at the beginning of 2.0. Go
Right,
go
and
forth,
she did-
seek the crystals of light.
And she
Right.
did say children. She is definitely speaking to multiple people there, whether or not they show us on screen, just us.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe she's sending out to everyone who can listen. Yeah, just everyone who can listen. All the people who can understand her.
Have we talked about how that seems to be Minfilia's voice?
Yeah, it does sound really close to Minfilia's voice.
It's not the same voice that Hyland had in A Realm Reborn. Obviously, we've changed a lot of voice actors, and we haven't heard her since A Realm Reborn. So it's possible that it's just a different voice actor. But the first thing I thought when I heard that, I was like, that's Minfilia.
Yeah, I didn't pick that up. But so you're maybe thinking that she did die and she went in and she took
That's what I was
controls
thinking.
of the crystal.
I don't think she necessarily died. The thing about the Echo, right, is that our sort of mind or spirit or essence or whatever it is, and our body can sort of separate without us dying.
Yeah,
That's
it's
sort of
true.
the whole point of it.
We saw that during the Leviathan stuff.
Yeah, no one dies. They
Yeah.
just turn into primals, right? And they turn into primal juice.
Well,
Primal juice.
Yeah. Right? Isn't that that's how the primals get summoned? They use life force or
Well,
whatever?
I mean, everything's primal juice. Like
Right.
all ether is primal juice. Potential primal juice, I should say.
that's essentially what the Echo is, though, a demigod. I saw that at comment in chat. I mean, it's pretty much the equivalent of a demigod here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. So, and the other thing we saw from the Echo is with Laha Brea and Igaeorm, the way they did their little fusion. That again was part of the Echo. Is that you can actually sort of put yourself into other bodies and kind of incorporate other bodies into your own, and you can basically do all of this cool shit that normal people wouldn't be allowed to do because the sort of the I guess the ties between your body and your essence are a lot more flexible. So I don't think she's necessarily dead.
Okay.
What I do think is that the Scions are becoming something a little bit more like the Ascians. Is that the Ascians are sort of the official representatives of Zodiac. They seem to sort of act directly on the will of Zodiac, and Elidibus seems to have. I don't know. I've always suspected that Elidibus has like some sort of direct connection to the mind or the spirit of Zodiac, or whatever you want to call it. And I think that what we're seeing here is Minfilia becoming basically the other side. Yeah, Heidelin's Elidibus. Exactly.
That actually makes a lot of sense. I also kind of see her coming back as an Oprah of crystals and basically just being like, hey, I just communed with Heidelin. Here you go. You got magic. You got magic. You got. All right. Okay. But
I think that the way the Scions are sort of moving forward and developing as characters, I wouldn't be surprised if they start becoming Scions, not just in name, not just them calling themselves Scions, but they actually do start to become the Scions of Heidelin.
Right. Okay.
And they do start acting like the flip side of what the Ascians are.
Are they going to get cloaks and stuff?
No, I mean, in terms of the function that they serve.
Right.
I mean, they have cloaks.
Cloaks are for bad guys.
Oh, okay. I got
That's actually that's accepted. Like there's a few rules about the universe there, and like Koji covered the fact that what the characters see has to remain within lore, but what the players see can be outside of it. The other rule is that if you're a bad guy, you have to wear a cloak, and if you're a good guy, you don't wear a cloak, unless you're Minfilia.
So that puts
outside snow cloak.
What's his name?
Urianger.
Yeah, kind of in a weird spot.
You think Urianger is a bad guy?
I think Urianger is up to some shady shit. I don't think everything is on the up and up with him. I don't know if he's necessarily a bad guy, but I don't know if he's wholly good either.
Okay.
Well, Urianger is well known for well known for playing both sides. He did that all the way through 1.0. We sort of suspected that he was
But he played the other side, right? He's our friend. He was playing the other side. Yeah, he wasn't playing us.
Yeah, I mean, like he's always sort of playing both sides, doing the double agent kind of thing. Yeah, so I think he's definitely still on our side.
Sort of tangential from Urianger because it goes into like the Gods of Eld quest and now the Warring Triad. Whose voice was that telling us good luck?
I think that was Unokalhai.
You think so?
It might have been Kryl, but
it sounded a little like Kryl to me.
It sounded a little like Kryl, but I think it was probably Unokalhai.
Okay.
All right.
Well, all right.
Voice actor,
yeah. I don't want to even hear the word for voice actor because I just relate it to instant like real life drama. I don't want to even think about it. So, anyways, going into the next part here, you had a note in here about Raubahn.
Yes.
So I do want to talk about that a little bit. I want to make sure that we get that into the segment. Do we think that there's any reason for us to be fighting Raubahn?
What do you think, Pook?
That sword looks a little Dark Knight-ish.
Ooh. So you think something's happened to Raubahn?
I always thought that Pippin was a Dark Knight.
Okay.
I think Raubahn is learning to embrace his darkness.
So you think he sort of snapped?
Yeah, I think
that he's gone off the deep end.
Maybe he snapped in the way that Curious Gorge keeps snapping in all the warrior quests until the end of time. It's basically this dude snapping in boulders. That's the warrior story.
Right.
Okay, so you think maybe Raubahn, after being sort of beaten and humiliated, has sort of gone looking for a new power and is having some trouble?
I think Ul'dah.
You think it's taking over him because he's getting like pushed to a certain point?
I think there's two things here. I think one, Ul'dah wrapped up too cleanly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and definitely.
And two, they showed us Ida and Papalimo outside of what we assumed to be Alamigo for a reason.
Yeah, they're with the Alamigan resistance for sure.
Yeah. And so yeah, I really just assume that perhaps he is getting a little too vengeful.
You don't think that maybe he's just protecting something that we were eventually told, oh, we have to go kill the Sultana to save the world, and he's just like protecting her or anything like that. I don't think that's the case, but maybe something in those kind
My first suspicion was that we haven't seen what the Warriors of Darkness are up to at the moment. It could be, given that the Warrior of Darkness has the same look as Derplander, is that maybe they've been causing havoc somewhere in Thanalan or in wider Eorzea, and people have mistaken them for us. And Raubahn's kind of taken it on himself to confront us and sort of stop us thinking that that we've gone nasty for some reason. We finally snapped.
That's not a bad call either.
Okay, so we are the bad guys. Is kind of what
I honestly think that they did kind of set the tone and the possibility with Thornton's final words to us, with the NPCs actually starting to become wary and afraid of what we're becoming, and that could be something that is easily manipulated.
Yeah, well, the Warrior of Darkness is supposed to be our sort of mirror image, and I think it's quite possible that they're going around and causing all kinds of havoc in our name, particularly while we're off in Ishgard and Dravania, and we're having very little to do with the original city-states at the moment.
So they make us a bad guy again.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay being the bad guy.
It didn't last long, did it?
No. Where the hell are the other bad guys? Where the hell are the actual bad guys in the trailer?
Yeah, exactly. Where are the Warriors of Darkness? Where are they?
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I feel like the whole thing's cheesy enough. I don't need to really deal with that anymore. I don't care about the Warriors of Darkness. It's as weird as it sounds. Like I could see it. I could be okay with it. I'd be like, all right, well that was something that we tried, and it kind of just went. Because I don't need to fight the Warriors of Darkness. It sounds all right. So we're coming up, and they name themselves the Warriors of Darkness, right? So they're proud of being in the darkness. But they still think they're the good guys. It seems like they think they're kind of the good guys. Like, oh yeah, well, what I'm doing is for the greater good. Right?
I think that they are glad to be opposed to us, but that doesn't make them necessarily in alliance with the Primals, or because the Ascians did bring them around, they're only challenging the Primals and doing the things they're doing to try to get the Primal summoned again and again.
That's exactly what they're doing, and that's what the Ascians are all about. That's what the Ascians are all about, and the Ascians point that out multiple times, that we're sort of doing their work for them by defeating the Primals, because we're just perpetuating them. And each time they come back, the Beast Tribes are more desperate, the Primals are more powerful, they're consuming more ether. The Warriors of Darkness are basically doing the same thing. We know that they were once Warriors of Light, and we know that their idea of the greater good is diametrically opposed to our idea of the greater good. They want to bring about the state of Zodiac. They want to see the crystal drained and dead.
All right. Would you guys like to see in the world kind of thing, like again, but this time Zodiac comes over and they're like dominating, and we are kind of having to be on the brink of surviving? Do you think that you would be okay if they took the story in that direction?
I think it's really hard to do end of the world scenarios in an MMO because not everybody is progressed to the same point. It helped when they took the game down for 2 years and remade it, then everybody is just here you go, square one post calamity. I'm not saying that phasing doesn't exist, but it's always been awkward. I'm going to get off the lore topic and talk about the fact that in World of Warcraft you kind of have that, and then when you're leveling up a new character, it's really weird too.
Yeah,
it's really weird to be like, okay, these are things that happen in the story after the Burning Crusade stuff, but let me go jump into the Burning Crusade stuff really quick and then come back.
But I guess that's kind of an extension of like what we see with the growth of Revenant's Toll, right? Is that if you remember in 2.0, when we first came to Revenant's Toll, it was a couple of fucking tents. It was just tents and a lodestone and a fireplace. But yeah, I definitely see that. I don't think that we're going to see another calamity directly. But the thing is, the story's always moving in that direction. That's what the overarching story is, in a nutshell, is the Asians are trying to cause another calamity, and we're fighting against it. And then every single plot in the whole game is boiled down to that combat.
Okay. You have a note in here. I'm going to kind of go off on a little bit of a tangent on the subject that we're on. It's still story quest stuff. With Anti-Tower, you're wondering about if there's a purpose there and kind of what we might be doing there.
It's part of the scenario, isn't it? I believe
yes.
that
It makes sense if it would be.
Yes, it is.
So, it's a huge magical place, right? With creepy dolls and a frog, right?
It also, like...
You're laughing, but...
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It also exists to reach into the Aether or the live stream.
Okay.
Like, that's the whole point of it, is to get to there, which is kind of where we'd expect all this stuff to be going on with Heidelin at all, because where do you expect the actual Mother Crystal to be?
You think is where the Anti-Tower is? I thought the Mother Crystal was just like another realm, sort of, kind of thing.
Not directly.
Yeah, I've always sort of thought the same thing. Is that it's not like a physical place that the Mother Crystal is in, but it seems that what the Anti-Tower is doing is trying to create a bridge between sort of a physical and noumenal place. Like if you see some of the shots of, I mean, it almost looks like we're moving into the void there a little bit, but it's not the void. It's when we get those cutscenes, those echo cutscenes where we're sort of talking with the Mother Crystal, and we see all the ether and stuff flowing in the background. That's the place that we're moving into. So they're trying to create this sort of pseudo noumenal space where they can physically go and either commune with Heidelin or sort of reach the live stream. So I don't think it's necessarily just that we're digging down into the center of the star.
You don't think it's just a giant drill going down?
No.
I think that while we're doing that, we're sort of moving between planes, and we're moving into this sort of borderline space between worlds at the same time.
Okay.
Which is what Ibsen's castle was about in Final Fantasy IX, was about sort of building this bridge between two different worlds.
Okay.
So we're getting sort of a combination of that, and obviously Memoria, which was, doing the same thing, but sort of moving into the void again in Final Fantasy IX.
Okay. Well, that makes sense to. I wasn't relating to. I thought it would just be a fun, cool looking place. It looks ridiculously awesome.
Oh yeah.
It looks like it has like a huge space as well. It's not like just a straight like tower looking thing. It's like you go in there and it's like magically turns into this huge place, right? Or did I imagine that?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Well, it's like an Escher painting, right? That's the whole point. That was the whole point of Ibsen's castle as well. Is that we're going to start in this fairly sort of ordinary looking structure, ordinary looking tower, and as we sort of move deeper into it, it's going to become more kind of fractured and strange. And like I say, as we're approaching closer and closer, the sort of atmosphere between our world and the ethereal realm.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to run it every single day in my roulette.
That's going to be kind of exciting.
You're not worried about having to face Calcabrina every day? Gosh, you're so fucking
I am excited for that. I love horror games, and so I go in there and I see that. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate this. This is my what do you call it?
That doll is all of my nope.
Yeah, all of my yes. No. Oh my gosh.
No. I swear I'm actually probably going to have to challenge myself at one point to do that with first person locked on, no UI.
I am going to sit there
stare
and
at the damn doll for the entire fight.
Okay, so let's get I think we have some viewer questions. We'll see. Let's try a couple of these viewer questions real quick, just so I can make sure that we knock them out. And so, do you guys think that this is from Credius? Credidus. I'm sorry if I completely ruined that. It asked it just towards Pook, but I can ask both of you guys this too. Do you think Raubahn scene is actually just going to be the very end cliffhanger for the next patch?
It looks like a confrontation. I don't think they'll leave us in a cliffhanger on a confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it's for good or ill reasons, there's obviously a confrontation there.
Right.
I don't think they're going to be like, and wait 3 months to finish this storyline fight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we're going to resolve it in this patch.
Okay.
Because we've got enough like loose threads and cliffhangers going already. We don't need another one.
Right.
Question for me: do you think Alphanaut is having tea with Alizé or Coco? He's thinking about it.
He's trying to decide whether it's a good idea.
All right. So Jim Brady, could Raubahn be a Beastmaster that never actually got serious until now?
A Beastmaster?
Yeah, I kind of had that same thought.
Sure, he could be.
I mean, what would a Beastmaster? Just someone who controls beast, right?
Yeah, there's not really that much you can do. Well, I mean, I understand that because we've got the whole like raging bull motif, and he could be like channeling a bull. But the way I see it is that what Raubahn does, and his sort of, I guess his short leash, his short temper, is basically the same thing as the inner beast for the warrior, or as the darkness for the dark knight. I see it. He's sort of expressing and channeling the same thing in his unique, special way. And the Beastmaster could be something like that, but I don't know.
Okay. Then we have Heroes, X81. What does Ethys think of the fact that we're fighting Cal Cabrina? Is that right? Cal Cabrina?
Yeah, Cal Cabrina.
Actually, what do they all think? So what do you guys think about the fact that we are fighting it? Does that mean anything, or is it just a really cool fight to throw in there?
Well,
I
I'm
love
trying
throwbacks.
Yeah, it's a throwback to Final Fantasy IV. I'm trying to remember the context for Final Fantasy IV. I don't think there is any sort of special reason. I think it just shows up. Like, I don't think it's ever really explained anywhere in Final Fantasy IV, is it? Right. So, I don't know. I assume it's some kind of Charlene defense thing. It looks like a fun fight, but I don't know if there's any sort of precise lore reason for it.
A lot of the mobs that we've seen there have been like automatons of one sort or another. Outside of the fire sprites that we see. So, maybe they were working on whatever machines they could make to act as their defenses.
Okay. All right, so I got a couple more questions. We'll try to get through them really quick. Then we're going to have to wrap up the show. Sorry, we lost about, 15, 20 minutes of content there. I apologize for Ethys for you.
Sorry, guys.
Jim Link asked, where do you I hope you feel bad for like a week. I'm just kidding, man. Jim Link, where do you think that the anti-tower entrance is on the map?
Where do we think the entrance is?
Is it by like the broom place? Right? There's a lot of frogs over there.
Yeah, I think it's got to be somewhere in the hinterlands. I really have no idea. I think that they've deliberately kept it very well hidden, very well protected, because it's one of those projects that you particularly wouldn't want the Ascians getting wind of for very obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's basically the Charlene Area 51,
Okay.
I have absolutely no idea where the entrance is going to be, but the fact that it's an inverted tower, there's not going to be any sort of significant above ground structure as far as I'm concerned.
No, it would be like a cave or something that goes in and then...
Yeah.
And they did something very smart this expansion with everything being like floating islands and stuff. They can always just throw another one out there somewhere that wasn't on the map before. So...
Okay.
I haven't seen a place in hinterlands that
it's not as obvious
as
Alexander, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna ask a few more questions here, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Malazine, what do you guys think about us fighting #Voltron?
Oh,
the Power Ranger stuff.
That is gonna be so much fun. I'm really excited for all the bosses we can see in Alex. I think they're going to be a lot more interesting than the Oppressor.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
We're getting a fight against Quick Thinks. So I'm assuming this is also going to be the patch we find out what the greater power behind all
we
of
have
this.
to.
Who's actually calling the shots?
They can't keep us in the
absolutely
dark.
expecting that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is for Sly. My question is, did Sly do his mini crackpot today? Mini crackpot. I'm sorry.
He better have. He fucking better have.
All right. And this is from Mousing. One more question here. But without the Warriors of Darkness, how will Ethys ever get to the moon? Rocket ship, man.
There's one thing I need to point out though.
Yeah, do it.
It looks like that Voltron or Power Rangers fight is the final boss. You guys would say that's probably the final encounter.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Or so we know that we're gonna find out more about the powers that be behind all of that, and we're fighting a Megazord. And I tend to remember that the Power Rangers villains were actually stationed on the moon.
That is completely true. That is completely true.
They're going after the moon cheese.
Moon cheese.
That's what the gobbies are all about. Oh, jeez.
I'm so hyped to go to the moon.
To answer the question, I'll just do the Hildebrand thing with a sword, if I have to.
Nice. All right. I got to wrap up the show, though. I do. I have to get on ready for the next segment. Ethys. So, if you guys like Ethys, you can tell me if you want him to come back for another show. If you think that he deserves to come back for another show and be redeemed, and we can have another lore show, and talk about it and get a little bit more in detail, and we can get Pook back here too, because Pook is the one that was wronged in this situation.
Guys,
he took away his time.
I promise next time I roll through, I'll have a voice again.
No, I think you should keep that one. I like the David Hayter sound. It's
Is your voice like that from all the poop you have to choke on for dealing with Ethys? Because I feel like I'm gonna get that voice too. It just poops all over your face.
Hey, I can't answer that question.
That's the one.
Wait, is your stream label as mature?
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
It is now.
Absolutely.
There's no way I could get people on the show, and I'm never filtering. Okay. I'll filter myself, but I won't filter anyone else coming on the show, because that kind of ruins it for me a little bit. But anyways, Ethys, I appreciate you eventually showing up. It was much appreciated.
Well, thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, I wish I had more time to give you for the show, because you're definitely the person I want to have on the show for talking about lore. And Pook, I'm going to get you in the future with Ethys again, and we're going to talk about lore. Maybe we'll get Sly on here too. We can do Ethys, Pook, and Sly and talk about lore.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
I always love it. Thanks for the opportunity. Congrats on 50. You put together a damn good show, and I'm happy to have been a part of it.
Too right.
Whatever, guys. Thank you. I don't take stuff good.
Whatever, guys.
Whatever, guys. I appreciate seriously going through this show. I can't believe it's been a year. I really can't believe that. Looking at the old videos, I can believe that. Because I have gone from out on a scale of 1 to 10 of making a show, I went from -10 to -9. And it was a huge jump for me. And I'm at that -9 part right now, and I'm very proud of myself.
Nah, man, you gotta give yourself some more credit. Also, how would I say that? Like Metal Gear, it's getting related to Metal Gear, and I can't.
Snake. No, that's the other person.
That's the other guy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it off. Do you guys want to do any shout outs to anybody? Ethys, you want to do any shout outs to anyone before you head out?
I don't think I've had any shout outs.
Sly. Shout out to Sly.
Sly out to shout.
Yeah. For doing that first little part there, keeping us company.
Yeah.
Pook, do you have any?
As always.
Yeah. Pook, do you have any shout outs?
Shout out to the amazing community. Shout out to everybody that basically made this possible by being here and keeping Frosty going.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming and watching this show. We're not done yet. We got 5 more hours of show to do.
You're a brave man.
I love it, man. I'm not even remotely tired, although I've had 2 cups of coffee, so I don't know. That could be part of it. But, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end up the show. Stay tuned. We have Sly coming back. He's going to be back here with Mr. Happy, and we're going to actually discuss streaming Final Fantasy XIV. And we're going to also talk about Stay Aroma hit 50 episodes too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's extremely impressive to talk about too. So I'm
the 1 year coming up.
Yeah. And so
Mike's not going to be there.
He's not going to be there.
He's going to be raiding.
That's right.
It's the patch night.
That's right. I forgot
He's
all
gonna
about
be in
that.
his own fucking 1 year. Jeez.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Talk about people letting people down. I mean, Ethys would Ethys wouldn't know anything about that.
Nah, I wouldn't know.
Nah, man, I'm giving you shit.
All right. I'm going to switch the screen off and get us back here. I'm going to start up some music. Thank you guys again for coming up on the show. At this, I'm just giving you shit.